Welcome to The Real Deal. Each week I put out this content to try and assist you when it comes to either selling or buying real estate. Now today I've put out some thoughts that I would love you to share with anyone that is in the market looking to purchase a property. Perhaps it's a relative, perhaps it's a son or daughter. Please feel free to forward this information. Now the first thing I'm going to say to you is before you even go and have a look at the property, ask the agent for a formal contract. Print out the contract, go there armed with a contract. It's not enough to put in an expression of interest. If you are the first offer in there on a formalized contract, you will get the attention of the agent, and of course the agent will then pass it on to the seller because they have a fiduciary duty to put any written offers on an REIQ contract forward. So that's the first bit of advice. The second bit of advice is if you love the property, let the agent know that you love the property and you want to secure it, okay? Now, sellers want to know that people love their property. Of course they do. They don't want to hear what's wrong with their property. They think it's perfect. It's their home. It's their castle. The agent has a job to sell it. They work for the seller. They don't want to hear a bunch of negativity. So if you're positive and nice about the property, you will definitely stand out, okay? Now, the third thing I'm going to say is make sure that you have a decent deposit down. It is not enough to put down $1,000 or $5,000 to buy a house. We're talking about a house, okay? You have to put down $1,000 when you buy a car, okay? A house is worth a massive amount more than a car, and you actually have to put down a lot more than just a few $1,000s. We're talking percentages. So ideally, in the olden days, you put down 10%. Now, since I've been in real estate, it started by being around 10%. I've been around for a while. Now it's kind of like 5% is considered really good, and at auctions it's 5%. But anything from 3% upwards is certainly seen as acceptable. Anything beneath that, it's a little bit shaky. All right, I don't like accepting any offers less than 3%. All right, so I'd definitely be recommending you make a decent offer in terms of the actual deposit. All right, now you can waive the cooling off period. That's entirely up to you. I probably don't have any dramas waiving the cooling off period, but there is in fact a form that you used to have to fill out to let them know that you can waive the cooling off period. Now that can be inserted into the contract, but the contract does actually have a 5-day cooling off. So there has to be another form that has to be filled out before you sign the contract. So that's all a little bit technical. Okay, when you purchase under the hammer, there is no cooling off period. Now, the other thing is get your terms as clean as possible. Why put down a 14-day pest and building when there's so many pest and building inspectors running around? You can probably get away with doing a 5-day one or a 7-day one. If it's rented, maybe 10 days because it's hard to get into the property sometimes, but definitely you don't need to do more than 7 to 10 days on pest and building. I know finance is a big issue at the moment. The banks take forever and a day, but if you're pre-approved and you know what you're good for, when I say pre-approved, actually you've got a formalized letter from the bank, then even show that to the agent because that will get you in there first. Now, everyone tells me they're pre-approved and they almost never are. It's very rare that they've actually sat down and actually done the formal pre-approval, okay? A lot of them say, because they've gone to the bank and said, what am I good for? And the bank says, oh, you can borrow 400,000, and they reckon that's pre-approval. That is not pre-approval. Pre-approval is having all the paperwork done beforehand. So if you're not pre-approved, you need to get pre-approved. Please shout out to me. I'm happy to help you, to put you in contact with someone that can help you do that. So those are some little tips about how to go about securing a house you want. And I would love to hear from you, and you're welcome to share this or forward this on to anyone that you think may benefit from it. And also feel free to follow us on our socials. All the details are below. Have a great weekend, and I hope to see you.